black people. It's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody moving.
Warning. Stand by for countdown. Prepare audience for maximum impact. Full immersion begins in.
It's your flow. Just keep it going. I'm a soul man. No. I'm a soul man. Yes, I am. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man.
You couldn't be so. You couldn't be so. Just now we're done.
It's your flow. Just keep it going.
They see something that I don't see. What can you learn from a bum, Omar? Shamsuddin? What I learned from a bum, maybe it's what not to do.
Nobody takes down Angel Snub 7 easy. There's a reason why, after 100 channels destroyed, Angel Snub 7 is still here. There's a reason why nobody want to get in a beef with Angel Snub 7. But you don't take me seriously.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
How you doing?
All over the world, I've seen everywhere I go. I have been this, I have been that, everything you thought I was so. And I have, that's the reason people think that you can do. People all over the world.
I can handle the hard question. See, they say that Angel Snub 7 don't care about the people. But Angel Snub 7 cares about the people because I'm bold enough to tell you the truth. And I don't give a damn if you give me a dime. I'm not looking for your money.
My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody moving.
We are in a state of emergency. Prejudice. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it goes. Free your mind. This is a story about control. My control. Control of what I say and control of what I do. And this time I'm gonna do it my way. I hope you enjoy this as much as I do. Are we ready? I am, 'cause it's all about control, and I've got lots of it.
It's a house for love, and I've learned that it don't take much to break a heart. It's a house for love, and I've learned. Build it up, house for love, and I've learned. I've learned a heart is a house. You got to feel it. And I've learned feel it up. Feel it up. Let me know you understand. Oh, I need that. Got to have that. It's mine. Who cares about that? I love mine. I love my thing. Who cares about that? I love my things. I love my things.
And now, the breakdown.
Cars, campers, and jet skis, rings, diamonds, and G's, spa days and vacations. I can't describe all the joy that it brings. Back to life, back to reality, back to life, back to reality, back to life, back to reality, back to the here and now.
I'm not going to help nobody get something my Negroes don't have. If I'm going to die, I'll die now, right here fighting you. If I'm going to die, you my enemy. My enemies are white people, not Vietcong's or Chinese or Japanese. You my opposer when I want freedom. You my opposer when I want justice. You my opposer when I want equality. You won't even stand up for me in America for my religious beliefs, and you want me to go somewhere and fight, but you won't even stand up for me here at home.
No, I don't worry. I tell you, I'm a man who believed that I died 20 years ago. And I live like a man who is dead already. I have no fear whatsoever of anybody.
Seems to me that white America must see that no other ethnic group has been a slave on American soil. America freed the slave in 1863 through the Emancipation Proclamation, but gave the slaves no land. And at the same time, America was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that there was a willingness to give the white peasants from Europe an economic base. And yet it refused to give its black peasants from Africa, who came here involuntarily in chains and had worked free for 244 years, any kind of economic base. And so emancipation for the Negro was really freedom to hunger. And when white Americans tell the Negroes to lift himself by his own bootstraps, it's a cruel jest to say to a bootless man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps.
I'm saying that the Nation of Islam should evolve into what we call the realities temple on earth.
It's all right. I'll make sure we have ourselves a good time. We'll get with our crew. There's no telling what we'll do, girl. As long as you're with me and I'm with you, we'll have ourselves a good time, a good time.
Everybody join.
Anybody who is black and interested in black people, let us sit down and find out how we can get together in one direction against one enemy and accomplish this job overnight.
When soul singer and black activist Sam Cooke wrote the lyrics to his song, "A Change Is Gonna Come," it was very direct and to the point. With some changes to it, the song was still digestible. In the year 2019, black folks continue to go through the change rather than direct the change. A community activist named Taalik Ibn'rad has made an appeal similar to what Sam Cooke was asking for, a change. It's said that the meek shall inherit the earth. We ask when. When will the landlords give the meek a free lease? Mr. Ibn'rad is humbly asking for the state of Mississippi. This is Dusty Basement Studios, and we approve of this message.
The Mississippi campaign represents everything that you claim that you want. The beginning of an all-black independent nation, the ability to control your own resources, your politics, the law, be able to do your own thing for a change, create an economy, create and produce goods that Africa or anybody on the planet would want. You're fake, you don't want to do nothing. 3 hours talking about the Mississippi campaign.
My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody move for me. Like that the king, we make it plain and simple. Bringing knowledge and fire at reality's temple. Reality's simple. My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody move for me. Like that the king, we make it plain and simple. Bringing knowledge and fire.
Yes. I want that. Oh, I need that. Got to have that. It's
My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody.
In a state of emergency. Prejudice. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it go. Free your mind.
Keep it real.
What, dear?
Because I keeps it real like that. I keeps it real.
Check it out, y'all. All the girls in the house, you don't even know.
I am also your soul brother, number one.
My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody moving.
I'm saying that the Nation of Islam should evolve into what we call the realities temple on earth. You don't need no Arab hand-me-down religion. You don't even need God. You don't need these things. That's good for us in our infancy, in our immaturity, when we was babies. But as we grow and mature, and even in religion itself, it says that we are the children of God. Children can't stay children forever. Children must become adults. So if we are the children of God, that means we become God. Act like God, move like God, and have the responsibility of a God. Dragon Manifest. Welcome to the Reality Tip on Earth, Dragon Manifest.
Thank you for having me, brother. This is an honor. When I first saw your channel, I said, oh, this is an ancestor that has most definitely returned. Yes, most definitely. This is not a new ancestor. This is an old ancestor. You could hear, you could feel the ancestors through you. You know, most people probably say, what is he talking about?
Right.
They don't get it. You gotta be on that level.
If you say that I'm divine and I'm a prophet, where the hell did your ass go to? Why aren't you heeding the call? Since I'm a prophet, since I'm divine. Some people, excuse the language, some people just like talking out their ass. 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 That's what they like to do.
My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody moving.
What's the sense of trying to debate angry slim themselves? There's many people, they want to debate and get angry at me. You can't debate me. You're cut and paste.
Show me the way to the future.
in a process of healing. We didn't have a choice. We was already doing for ourselves. Even with all the oppression, we were accomplishing things far greater than the black and black have done. They've done very little, except bring you the teaching, the belief, because that's all teachings is. I believe. We don't need to believe no more. We need to know. The deacons of reality put out a short video and talk about winning. I don't like losing. I really don't. I'm very competitive. I don't like losing. Some people don't mind losing. Oh, it ain't nothing but a game.
Patience come, gotta move along. No play, it's time to win. Don't criticize, try to realize I'm number one in the end. Oh, that's the color of success. I play to win. Oh, I there's no other color of success. I play to win. Oh, free as a bird. It's time to spread the word.
I don't like losing. I really don't.
The sun is shining.
I'm very competitive. I don't like losing. Some people don't mind losing. Oh, it ain't nothing but a game. Because you're a loser. Of course it's nothing but a game because you're a loser. Anybody that play any game, you play the game because you want to win. Nobody plays a game to be a loser. Nobody.
And the cow was returned to its rightful owner.
Throughout the history of the United States, the construct of racism was created specifically to oppress Black people, to try to suppress our determination to achieve liberation. Like Angela Davis said, it's built into the system.
Nowadays I can't believe what's going on in front of me. I don't want to watch TV and find another casualty. I don't want to read the news. My heart's already black and blue. I'm putting on my combat boots, 'cause I got an attitude. We're like soldiers forced to fight a war. What the hell? I can't take it anymore. 'Cause for so long we've been patient, now we're done. And don't you even ask me when did I become such an angry Black woman. Yeah. We're just trying to get more. Tell me how long will we roll? Or will we fall? We're losing young ones. Hands in the air, we keep praying for a miracle. 'Cause every day is a struggle. But as long as my brothers and my sisters are in trouble, goddamn, I'm a ABW.
We can't successfully put an end to racial discrimination until we change the entire system.
We've been trying to keep the peace 50 years since Martin King. Some don't like me for who I am, but I love my melanin. Another future college grad sleeping in a body bag. Mother screaming out her lungs. She never gonna see her son. We're like soldiers forced to fight a war. What the hell? I can't take it anymore. 'Cause for so long we've been patient, now we're done. don't you even ask me when did I become such an angry black woman. Praying for a miracle, cause every day is a struggle. But as long as my brothers and my sisters are in trouble, you're damn right I'm a ABW. Like soldiers forced to fight a war. What the hell? I can't take it anymore. Cause for so long we've been patient, now we're done. So don't you even ask me when did I become such an angry black woman.
Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly.
Southern girl. I'm gonna take you back a little bit. Where? Back to Texas, where everything is bigger. The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody moving.
Warning. Stand by for countdown. Prepare audience for maximum impact. Full immersion begins in.
It's your glow. Just keep it going. Just keep it going.
They see something that I don't see. What can you learn from a bum, Omar? Shamsuddin? What I learned from a bum, maybe it's what not to do.
Nobody takes down ₦7 easy. There's a reason why, after 100 channels destroyed, ₦7 is still here. There's a reason why nobody want to get in a beef with ₦7. But you don't take me seriously.
Can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
How you doing?
out of the heart. See, they say that Angel Snub Nub 7 don't care about the people. But Angel Snub Nub 7 cares about the people because I'm bold enough to tell you the truth. And I don't give a damn if you give me a dime. I'm not looking for your money.
My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody.
We are in a state of emergency. Prejudice. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it goes. Free your mind.
This is a story about control. My control. Control of what I say and control of what I do. And this time I'm gonna do it my way. I hope you enjoy this as much as I do. Are we ready? I am, because it's all about control, and I've got lots of it.
You got to have love. You got to have love in your heart tonight. Here's a house for love, and I've learned that it don't take much to break a heart. Here's a house for love, and I've learned.
right, I'm gonna try to.
I guess it's recording. Let me see how they hear you. Go ahead and say testing. I'm gonna see if the audience can hear you good.
All right, testing.
They say they can hear you.
All right. Well, thanks for allowing me on this live panel tonight. And as you know, the topic I would like to go into, for those of you who are watching, who will be listening, I am also going to say that this topic is going to be called Negroes Get What They Ask For. Well, as I've been really sitting back, observing, and just watching things go on, even especially throughout the year 2023, even to this point, going into 2024, and my observation of the so-called American Negro right now in this nation is seemingly getting to a point where I honestly don't know if we can make it up out of this mess that we find ourselves in as a group, because we're so divided on many ends, and we brought the solution to you on social media platforms in regards to the Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign, yet it fell on many deaf ears, and all this other stuff that's been tried is not been successful at all, and still continues not to be successful. So here's my thing with this here. I've come to the point right now that many of us are going to probably be exterminated. I hate to say this. And I know that some of you out there in social media land is going to try to say that I sound negative saying this, but I'm only speaking the truth for what it is. I mean, all you got to do is look around you. Look at the writing on the wall. I mean, like like I used to hear those in the pro-black conscious community say, look at the signs and symbols of the conscious mind. That's all you got to do is open up your mind and eyes and see what's going on around you. Where I've gotten to the point where I can make that statement that I just made. I mean, we have no defense, we have no army, we have no National Guard behind us, we have nothing to protect us. We don't even have no police forces, of course, working on our behalf to provide us with protection as other communities of different ethnicities get provided with. You see what I'm saying? We don't have none of that. I mean, hell, they looking out for the immigrants coming to this country, whether they come in here legally or legally, more than they're looking out for us. So that should tell you something. We have no protection around us whatsoever. Meaning anybody could do anything they want to do to us. But here it is. Even with some of us knowing this, we continue to demonstrate that we really don't care. because we want to still get into our own thing or do our own thing over here, or you do your own thing over there and just stay divided and don't care. You say you love soul black people, but your actions don't demonstrate it. The time is no longer for just taking a person for their word. It's about seeing action. Because we've tried for so long to take other people for their word on our behalf, and it's failed us every time as a group. So what we need to understand and realize at this point right now is that we have to start taking our situation seriously, whether it's on a personal level or whether it's on a common collective level. You know, it's been too many fun and games going on. It's no longer about fun and games. It's like we're in a serious crisis, you know, and we actually need to be how can I say, we need to actually be delivered out of this situation that we're in. It's like a person being caught up in a crisis situation as far as drug addiction, and they don't know how to get out of it, but the only way or alternative that they can find is to reach out, to go get some help for their problem. Well, that's what we are as soul black people in this nation. Whether you call us African American foundational black Americans, Muslims, Hebrews, Moors, Africans, whatever title you want to go by. African American, whatever title you want to go by. We're all the same people at the end of the day. And we are all in the same boat. No matter which or how we got on that boat, we all are in the same boat. I don't care if you call yourselves Aboriginals, Native Americans, Pan-Africans, and all that other stuff. We are all in the same boat. We cannot never forget that we are children of slaves that was born in this nation. And that's how we're going to be treated. Ain't nobody asking you, as far as those that are outside of us, working daily to oppress us on all four fronts. They're not asking you what religion you belong to. If you Muslim, if you Christian, or if you a Moor, or a Hebrew, or if you African American, Pan-African, Black American, foundational Black American, and all this other stuff, or even Black itself. They're not asking you that. All they see is a bunch of ends. And you know what that word, that letter start, which word start with that letter? That's all they look at you as. You know, matter of fact, I was in the store today. It's like the same thing when they look at all different types of darker skinned people around the world as being the same by trying to bunch us all up together when we know that we're not the same in cases of different ethnicities and cultures and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm up in the store getting some checked out on my new phone. And it was some looked like he was from East India, some East Indian Hindu looking guy who worked up in there. And he asked me, because it was two white people in there first that was being attended to as customers. Then I came in there and two dark-skinned women came in right behind me, right? And he asked me, he said, "Are y'all together?" And I had to repeat myself more than once by telling him no. Because the first time I clearly told him, no, we was not together. So I found again that I had to keep repeating myself. And that let me know that in any given situation in this society, when people see so-called black people, and it come to find out, after I heard one of them speak, I found out they was Africans. You see what I'm saying? He ain't asked me no question. Are you African American? Are you African? Who are? All he saw was two black people coming up in there. And basically what I'm saying is this, is that even in situations like that, you know, where we're being followed around in stores, profiled and stuff, that's one way they do it. They lump you all up, it's the same together. And this is how society looks at us. Mainly those who I'm speaking on, as far as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America are concerned, this is the way they look at us. They don't care nothing about your religion. They don't care what even status you come from, as far as financial status or financial class status. They care less about your celebrity. Ask Oprah Winfrey, ask Michael Jackson, ask Kobe Bryant, ask Mike Tyson, ask that guy that just got convicted in New York over that white woman, just lost his acting career. Messing around with some pink trash, you know? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, that's what I'm saying, you know? Ask these people. They don't care nothing about that. You are still an end. But yet, you still kissing up to them, brown nosing them, and all this, kissing their behinds. And some of you knowing daggone well they don't like you and can't stand you, hate you with a passion. But you still licking up their behind and brown nosing them. I mean, come on. You get you a little money, all of a sudden you think you finally done arrived, like you better than somebody, can't nobody tell you nothing. Then you start talking down on other Negroes, or looking down on the Negroes. I mean, when are we gonna wake up and stop this? No one likes us. Not even them so-called Africans from Africa. They don't even like us. Nobody likes us. You know, no one has no respect for you. Here it is, you got thousands of people crossing the border, especially crossing the border illegally. They get over here, they don't even respect you. The ones that ain't even supposed to be in this country, ones over here that ain't even citizens of this country, they don't even respect you. You know what I'm saying? That should tell you something. You know, that should really tell you something. But yet, you go out your way to hate on your fellow brother and sister that come from the same bloodline that you come from. As far as, you know, the generational slave curse. goals that's been upon us for over 400 years in this nation. And you just, I mean, you just seem like you just got nothing but hatred for your own. You quick to get aggressive with your own. You quick to shoot and kill or fight your own, especially over nothing most of the time. But these other different groups of people attacking you every day, discriminating against you, profiling you like the racists do. You don't even lift up a hand, a finger to try to defend against that. If a brother is dating a Mexican woman or Puerto Rican woman or Cuban woman or some woman from Africa or one of these Italian women or something, you know, and they get disrespectful with you, you know you ain't gonna do nothing to them because you know if you put your hands on them, you gonna get some pushback from either one of those cultures, especially those who don't play about somebody else harming their own women or disrespecting their women. So, I mean, but yet when it comes to your own soul kind of the opposite sex, you go all off on disrespecting her, calling her bitches, hoes, and all this other kind of stuff. And then you wonder why our sisters have became the way that they became. Now they feel like they can man up against you because you created that type of situation, of environment. Yeah, the sisters is wretched. They do wretched things, and they definitely share a responsibility in this situation. But we as men failed them. We got to remember that. You know, it's a lot of these women out here that I will break my neck to stay the heck away from because I know how poisonous they is. But it's because the man failed them, which brought them to that situation or point that they said, well, hell, we gonna be like men. We don't need no man. We created this. You see what I'm saying? We created this. So now this is what we get. You know, and I don't, and you know, I want to say that I don't have no qualms with a brother wanting to lead a country to go seek out better pastures, far as a better life, if he can, far as seeking a woman. But you know what? You shouldn't have to leave the country you was born and raised in just to do that. And the reason I say I don't got no problem with that because that's their freedom of choice. And that's something that I got to respect. But that don't mean I have to agree with it all the way either. I don't agree with what brothers should have to leave and go to Brazil or go somewhere over to Ghana or the Philippines, Vietnam, somewhere, just to go seek a love of their life. You see what I'm saying? Because they can't find a sister right where they are. But we created that situation. We made them spoiled. We made them want to be a man. We made them want to get to the point where they turn to being lesbians and stuff. You see? Because we're not being the alpha males we should be. And it's sad. And this is why don't nobody respect us, because we don't protect them women. We don't protect our women like we should. Any nation is judged according to his woman. I even learned that in religion, and that is a true statement. All nations are judged according to their women. And because we have not protected our women and stood by them, is why we getting the blatant disrespect that we're getting. We don't nobody respect us like that. We out in public treating them any kind of way. Like I say, calling them the A to B words. Beating on them. Disrespecting them in public and all that for people to see. So then they feel like they can say and do the same thing to our women. Then we jump up to the defense all of a sudden and be like, oh no, you can't do that. But you open up the door for that. Just like with us calling each other the N-word. When some racists say it or when somebody else say it, all of a sudden, nah, they wrong, it's all outdoors and they ain't got no business saying it. But we open up the doors for that by calling each other that word every day. You see? We open up the doors for that. We actually open up the doors for that. For the disrespect. And most of us don't want to see that. We rather ignore that and just keep doing what we're doing. So this is why we're going to keep getting the same results. If we have more love and respect for each other, as we claim to be a community, as a community which we claim to be, if we had respect, these police wouldn't be shooting us down like they do. We don't have no respect for each other. You wouldn't see these police out here disrespecting us, beating us, killing us every day in these streets throughout this country. Because they'll know that they will have to contend with the real community. Lash back. They know that they're going to get some pushback from a real community. That's why you don't see them going around in these other unquote communities, like the Korean community, like the Arab community, like the white community, doing what they do to us. Because they know those communities or neighborhoods have respect for themselves and each other. And mainly it's because they know they protect their women. You know, it's sad. It's sad. And I'm sorry for brothers like the late Philando Castile on his way home from school, from working as a what was he doing? He was a lunchroom cook at a high school, I believe, in Minnesota. He was on his way, on the expressway from home from work. He gets stopped with his girlfriend and the police shoot him. Just like that. Just a few words exchanged, and he telling them, look, he got his concealed weapon on his side. And they still just shooting. You know? We could walk out our door at any given time. They could just walk up on us and do anything they want to do to us. Because they know we don't got no respect for each other. Nor ourselves. Respect is an important thing. That's a powerful meaning of a word, which could carry people a long way. But because we don't have that as a group, they could do anything they want to do to us. We talk about each other to even them. Call each other the N-word to them. And they laughing like, oh, that's cool. Then as soon as you turn your back, they talking about you, saying the same thing about you. Oh, look at that nigger. The guy, he called his own people that in front of us. This is what they go home talking about. Whether they going home from work or whether they getting amongst themselves. This is what they're talking about. Because they know we don't have no respect or love for each other like that. You know, so I mean, this is the thing. I just want to say is that on that note, we have lost all regard for one another. Most of us don't even respect our own elders and our own individual families. I know because it goes on in mine. And I know my so-called family ain't the only family go through it in the so-called soul black community. There's many elders getting disrespected, not just by common folks in the neighborhood, by their own younger relatives. Whether it's their nephews, their younger cousins, younger nieces, grandnieces, even the grandchildren. Children don't respect their elders, who may be their parents or grandparents, or granduncles or grandaunties. I mean, this is just getting bad. We don't have respect for one another whatsoever as families. But yet we expect to get other people. You know, we expect to be on some Rodney King type stuff. Can we all get along? We got to start with us first. See, we got to start with us first. Then consider on working on doing that with other people. We can't even get along with each other as families. It's sad. I grew up in the 70s, coming out the late 60s, growing up in the 70s. I remember it was a whole lot different in the soul community. Where if your parents wasn't around and your neighbor seen you doing something out of pocket, they dealt with you immediately. Even if it was a ass whooping, they dealt with you immediately. And when you got home, you might have got another butt whooping once your parents or somebody got home. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's like we done lost that kind of respect. And we better not dare, when it come to other soul people and they children, we better not dare say nothing to them in front of their parents. Their parents will be ready to fight and shoot over somebody trying to discipline their own kids. Especially when they don't have no control over them. But they would rather fight to kill you try to show their children some type of disciplining. This is how far we've fell back as a group of people in this nation, to the point where we have no respect and no regard. It even got to the point now, if a child disrespect me, and I'm like looking at the parent like, yo, hey, you see what's going on with your son and daughter? What you gonna do? They'll be ready to actually fight and shoot me. This is the mentality that our people have. And I can't, and it's like at the rate it's going, it don't have to be that way, but it's gonna get worse. I'm just looking at the writing on the wall. I'm not going to sit up and say, well, oh, it's going to get better. Don't worry about it. I used to be one of those to say stuff like that. Oh, it's going to get better. Don't worry about it. There's a lot to worry about. And it's not going to get better. Because we refuse to look at our responsibility part in this situation. We refuse to give up that false pride that we have for ourselves and each other. To come calmly together at a table and to put cool heads together and say enough is enough. So let's do something about this situation with us. Because it's getting so bad that we don't even have no respect for the average common soul person. We can't even talk to each other without being disrespectful, without loud voicing each other. And here's the kicker about that. We ain't even personally got to know each other to be doing that. That's the crazy part about it. I could walk down the street and see another brother or sister, and we might have some type of run-in or something, and I'm trying to get a point across, and they talking over me. So next thing you know, it's shouting back and forth going on over nothing. I know this from experience, and I've seen it with my own eyes. So, I mean, we have no, I mean, this is the reality of what we are. And this is why I always refer to us as loose cannons, like we were as slaves being let off the slave plantation. It's loose cannons. Because we had no way of knowing where we was going to go from that point. All we saw was that slave master let us go because he told us we was free to go. Free to go where? We didn't have nothing to go to. So we was just out there like loose cannons, like we still is now. With no point of direction. And this is the reason why we keep getting what we get. And I can't keep stressing that enough. This is why exactly we keep getting what we get. Because we don't want to face reality and deal with things the way that it is. This is why we don't want to accept the ideal that brothers like myself and Brother Taalik bring to the table, which is called Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign, which is something that could be explored, which hasn't really been fully explored yet, because we still leaning on to these old ideals that ain't got us nowhere, especially with this religion dogma stuff that got our people going crazy. So I mean, it's like excuse me. but yeah, this is what we get, and we can't blame no one else but ourselves for this. Like I always said, 99% of the stuff that we face today in this country as soul black people is because we bring it on ourselves. We're no longer in the position where our chattel slave ancestors was, where they didn't have much of a choice at all but to deal with their circumstances, either live with it or die with it. That's the only thing they had. But we have more choices than they have, and we're not taking advantage of it. And because we're not taking advantage of it, this is why these immigrants could come over here and take advantage of it. You see, and end up being way more successful than us as groups of people. And then we want to hate on them and get jealous of them. But you let them do it. You allowed it. So it's your fault. It's not theirs. It's your fault. You allowed it. You know, I mean, we could go so far. We could only go so far with this stuff about slavery. But we have more resources today than they did to channel around our situation. Just with one snap of a finger. But because of our divisive attitudes toward each other, that's hard to happen. That's hard to make happen. Because we got so many divisive attitudes and personalities when it comes to dealing with each other. We can't get over these little petty beefs we have with each other. Or somebody might have did something to you when you was 12 years old, and y'all in y'all 50s and 60s still fighting over that. Something that happened when y'all both was 11 and 12 years old. That type of childish stuff, you know? This is where our mentalities are as the group. We can't even let that go. These are just these little petty beefs. And this is the reason why we find ourselves still in the same situation that we're in. Because somebody holds some long, decade-old resentment. Like I said, this goes back to me saying this is one reason why families don't get along. But yet we want to tear our butt over to Africa. Like that brother, I forget his name on that Search for Uhuru channel, always going to Africa trying to seek out they so-called tribes over there. And you got tribes of families over here that you actually know, raised with, slept with, broke bread with, went to school with, and can't even get along with them. You see, grew up with them under the same household roof, raised under the same adult relatives, members of the family, and can't even get along with them. But you want to go somewhere far off to Africa, 3,000 miles away. You don't know nothing about these people and want to try to join in with them on some brother and sisterly level. Well, you can't even get along with your own people over here like that, starting with your own family. So, you know, like I said, this is where we are at the point of now, where we may be actually on the way to facing complete genocide. You know, like I hear people always say on social media, with the way the police is killing us, it's slow genocide. Well, either way one want to look at it, genocide is a genocide, whether it's slow or whether they expedite that genocide. Genocide is genocide because we're allowing it to happen to us. See, and when I see this going on and hear this going on, I just, you know, I ain't gonna never give up hope. on my people, but I'll say this. I do understand why some of our leaders that we've had in the past threw their hands up. And you know what? I'm not even making no excuses for them either. But I'm just saying that I have empathy enough to understand why they threw their hands up. Because we are a stiff-necked, hard-headed people, like someone would once say. And I mean, you know, we have this mentality that, especially when it comes to another one of our own, we don't got time to listen, or you can't tell us nothing, or they got to always cut you off, and all this old kind of stuff. You see what I'm saying? It's no respect. Exactly, because there's no respect. No one has no respect for us because of the way that they see how we deal with each other. And it's at the point now where, like I say, anybody, now you got all these thousands upon thousands of immigrants coming over here, and they flooding these cities like crazy, especially these bigger cities across the country, like your so-called sanctuary cities. I could imagine in New York now, as well as Chicago, and even in my hometown, in Detroit, how that's affecting the so-called soul black community in those cities. Because some immigrants, they allow them to gain with so much ground to gain resources and opportunities that we should have been had. Just alone through our ancestors' civil rights struggle. But that's been taken away from us. Whether you want to realize it or not, that's been taken away from us. And with them allowing them immigrants over here like they are, that's only making it more worse for us in that situation. And I mean, I understand the plight of our soul brothers and sisters in Chicago, where they, you know, getting aggressively angry about it and stuff. I understand that. But what are they going to do? They going to fight the immigrants? That's what it's going to come down to? Where it's just going to be blood in the streets? We're fighting the immigrants? Because the immigrants ain't got the power or the resources. It's those who got the power and the resources that are allowing these immigrants to access the opportunities that they have access and will continue to have access to. Because we haven't done our due diligence to even uphold the struggle that our ancestors left behind for us to carry on and to make even more better. Just like with our idea of Operation Exodus, Mississippi. It's about taking these steps ahead, further, not staying at the same level, and that's where we drop the ball at. You see, so this is the reason why we are going through what we're going through. And I mean, it's really, it's at the point now when I see this, you know, I witnessed this on the job when it comes to our disunity. I witnessed this, like I say, out here in everyday society, in my immediate environment. I mean, we have no love or respect for each other whatsoever. We'll be quick to talk about other groups of people and then turn around and go to smiling and cheesing and laughing in their face, talking about each other to them. That type of stuff. And like somebody said, that's the type of stuff niggas do. And I have to concur with that. Yes, that's what niggas do. And it's unfortunately, which I prefer to use the word Negro, because the nigga word is so, how can I say, derogatory on all levels. You know, that's why I just rather just use the word Negro. And that's why I say Negroes get what they get. Just for being, you know, ends. Or as someone else would put it, nigglets. Because of that, because of the way we deal with each other. We don't have no, you know, and then you wonder why the racists don't want to have nothing to do with us, and why they don't respect us even. Why they don't even want us in their neighborhoods. You know, I was talking to a cousin last night, and we was talking to a relative of mine from back home where I'm from, and it was a particular part of Detroit, on the side of town where I even used to live. And he moved there back in the 80s. And you couldn't tell if it was Detroit or the city called Grosse Pointe, which is a city over from across the line from Detroit, which is considered as the suburb part of Detroit. And you couldn't tell the difference. Well, when the mid-90s hit, and you started seeing a lot of low-income soul brothers and sisters coming into that neighborhood, moving and relocating in that neighborhood, then that's when they said it went from, you know, sugar to ashes. And I witnessed this in the late 2000s, in the late early 2000s. I seen the effects of what he meant by that. I mean, you know, we don't know how to keep nothing up to par. And so, of course, like, you know, like always, the white folks move out and say, let them have this. They gonna destroy it anyway. And then we want to get mad when they don't want us around them. And why should we want to be around them when we know they don't like us? You see? But still, in all, the reality of the matter is that we get mad at other people, even like them, that don't want us around them, because look how we conduct ourselves. Look how we live amongst each other. Hell, if I wasn't a part of this group of people, I wouldn't want to be around your ass either. Looking at all that. You know? And I'm serious. I mean, who wants to be around someone? That's why even the Nation of Islam taught the difference of what it is to be a savage and what it is to be civilized. Don't nobody want to be bothered with no savage. And that's what we act like. The reality of it is we act like a bunch of savages. You know, I got to call the ace of spades for what it is. We act like a bunch of savages. And when we get treated like it, we quick to get emotional and react a certain way about it. Like wanting to ride and up the police and kill the brother or sister or something. Or get out there and protest and all this other crap. Which seemingly doing nothing to change the situation at all. Here it is, people was out there doing all that marching and protesting for Breonna Taylor, and the police that killed her still ain't gone to jail. They just had a deadlock jury in his last trial. Now the feds is finna retry him again. But see, they went through all that. You know, to wait for almost 4 years later for them to retry him again, which is gonna be next year, hoping that they find him guilty this time. See, if we did things a certain way, like we supposed to, we wouldn't have to wait around this long for our people's families to get justice. Even like in Emmett Till's case. The woman, the last thing living that was responsible for his murder, just passed away. After all of what his family did, even going to the U.S. Justice Department to try to have something done about it. Now, their family has got no justice at all. And what happened to this brother was almost, 30-some years less than a century ago. You see? So, I mean, it's like, man, and there's many, many more of us, of our people whose families haven't got justice for the injustice that was done to them because of racism in this nation. But you know, like I say, today we have a choice to turn that around. And with the way that we're doing things right now, it's not going to happen. I can tell you that right now, it's not going to happen. Because we have no unity. It's not going to happen. We don't have no unity. We don't have no love for each other. We don't even have enough love for each other to respect another person's opinion, whether we like it or not, without getting emotional, without being disrespectful about it to that next person who we don't agree with. Other than we want to kill them because we don't agree with something they say or do, or because we want to fight them over something we don't disagree or rather agree with them about. You see? So, I mean, this is what's going on with us. And you know, we can only distance ourselves so far from each other. And although I do know that, and I clearly understand that, but I do understand and empathize as well as sympathize with those of us who do distance ourselves from our own people. And that's for a reason. But I'm not saying that we should keep doing that forever. If we ever want to change our situation in this country as a disenfranchised oppressed people, we're going to have to find some kind of way to work with each other without being fearful of one another, without being skeptical of one another, without worrying about if somebody gonna disrespect somebody else or say something out the way, or somebody gonna have to do something physically to somebody or pull out a gun or a knife on somebody. I mean, this is the walk mentality we got dealing with each other. I mean, this is just what I'm saying. You know, we have to understand this, that we are in a retarded mental state. And I don't even like using that word, but that's what we are. That's what we exactly are as a group in this nation. We don't have no type of sound, clear mind thinking when it comes to dealing with each other. Now, when we deal with other people, It's all cordial, respectful, and everything, because that's how we was trained from the beginning. Although we were trained to hate and despise each other too at the same time. So that's where all that comes from. But we got to break that yoke. Fam, we got to break that yoke. And that's just that simple as it is. That's just how simple it is. We got to break that chain of thought. Get out that Willie Lynch divided mentality we got toward each other. Where even one generation amongst us can't get along with another generation. I've seen that problem so many times go on in my years on earth dealing with us as soul people. So, I mean, and I know this one thing about every other nationality. They protect and respect their elders, but us. We want to talk about the ancestors, but we disrespecting them every day. Like those elders that are still among us living. Even though they may not be dead yet, but they are our ancestors. Whether we realize it or not. And we don't have even enough respect for them to acknowledge that. They've been through a whole lot that we probably would never go through or never have went through. And you won't even let them live in peace for the last whatever existing days that they got left on this earth. And that's a daggone shame. It really is. It could be your grandmother, your grandfather, but you don't care. And that's a selfish attitude to have. That's why whatever happened to us, on that note, Negroes gonna keep getting what they supposed to get. It's just that simple. Negroes gonna keep getting what they get. Because we keep leaving the doors for all this negative pushback to happen to us. Because we ain't got our stuff together as a group. So this is what we gonna keep getting. Blatant disrespect and all kind of pushback from these other groups of people in this nation, including the races, because we don't have no type of unity or defense mechanism to go up against that because of our divisiveness. We're just so divided. And that's with that type of attitude. Again, we're going to be pushed so far back to the point where we might as well be back on the cotton field plantation. And who far this is going to be? No one else but ours. And on that note, so I won't get tongue-tied, I'm going to yield my mic and let our brother Taalik carry us on, whichever want to go with this.
Supposed to believe the gun had a reason for her death, right? So what's the crime?